Everyone can see the end is close. Shalom, call Allah, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Barakah, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who do rule and teach well. Peace and blessing salutations as well to the Akim and Akwath, the sincere brothers and sisters out there, keeping the faith of our Lord Yahweh Shai in all diligence, righteousness, and sincerity, occupying the prophecies until all is fulfilled and we are redeemed. So I just wanted to bring out a quick testimony of a conversation I had earlier today with two clients of mine, which are two older Edomite women. So basically, I was done dealing with them, and I was going out the door, and they said to me, be careful out there driving. Basically because things are so crazy now. You pretty much every day you having an accident on the road or road rage or something's going on. Which I said, yeah, things are definitely crazy out here. People are losing their minds because of all of what's going on. And we get to having just a casual conversation about things going on in the world. And one thing you take away from it is that Esau, they very hip, they're very aware of what's going on in the earth. Whereas you look at Jake is completely oblivious. Like, you can't even have intelligible conversations like that with Jake most of the time, because Jake is just so bogged down with the things of this world. And Jake just cooked, period. But these Edomites, they make sure that they know what's going on, because this is their world. This is their livelihood. So if anything is off, they got to know about it. They really got to be up on it. But anyway, we get to touching on a couple different topics, like people that got the V, the juice, the elites trying to take away the guns, people just in general becoming more heartless, you see. So we get to talking about all these things, and of course wars on the horizon. But one of them actually told me, like, she was talking about the sauce, and she asked me, did I get it? I said, no, I ain't get it. But she told me that she knows a few people that's in her family that took the sauce. One of them, she had told me, had came down with cancer, and he had to have an operation to get the cancer removed, but the cancer ended up coming back and was actually more aggressive than the first time. And I said, see, this is what happens when you don't, really I wasn't trying to go too deep, because you can't really put too much out there. But for what we were talking about, I was kind of touching on things to where they could understand, but I wasn't going super deep like how, we get with teaching and stuff like that, because they're not on that level. But and they're also Christian, so they're aware that we're in the last days and that things are continuously getting worse because the end is coming. Who they call JC Christ, who we know as Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, is coming back very soon. So from all that we were talking about going on in the world, they can see that prophecy is taking place, things are getting worse, and that the Lord is on his way back, and it was really just a conversation to where it's like, we're not the only ones that see these things. We're not the only ones that are hip and bringing it out. Like, people see, and a lot of them watch the prophets low key. Let's just put it out there. A lot of them watch the prophets low key, man. Especially these Christians. You see, because Christianity ain't talking about nothing right now. Christianity is a damn dead horse that people just keep on beating. But they definitely watching the prophets. But going into we even touched on the elites, like what they're coming down with, taking away the Second Amendment, inflation going up, people in general just having to work so hard and all this and that. Then we get they get to talking about You know how crazy that the cities are, and actually one of my clients actually told me that they have relatives that have a house like a I forget what they called it, but I'll just say a house because I forget what word that they use, but out in the sticks, like up in the mountains, far away from the city, and all of that. When she was kind of telling me that she didn't want to go out there because she didn't want to be like in deep in the woods like that or whatever. But she was saying like, yeah, it would be a good option because once things get crazy, that's a place that you can go to and have some sort of peace of mind or refuge. But the average Jake don't have that option. The average Jake is stuck in the cities. They're stuck, relegated to the projects, relegated to apartments where they just stuck, period. So Jake don't have the resources or the connections to build a bunker or go deep into the sticks somewhere and just get away from everything. Nah, Jake gonna be right here in the midst of all the chaos, as well as these other people, man, all these other nations. And really the only ones that are gonna be good from what's coming are the hopefully elect, those that fear Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua and keep his commandments to the best of their ability. But everybody else that's out here, that's oblivious, walking around, lost in the sauce, they all going to get done in. And this is what the prophets, the men of the Lord, continue to expound upon. We can't say it enough. And people are, tired of hearing about it because they're like, well, damn, nigga, like y'all been talking about this for the longest time, but it ain't happened yet. Well, you see that before something gets full blown, the foundation has to be laid. The proper conditions must be laid down before you can get to the final climax. You see, so that's exactly what the Lord is doing right now. Right now, the Lord is laying down the foundation so that when he's ready to bring that full judgment, it's not going to be no escape. It's not going to be no way out because it's going to come suddenly. The scriptures say that the day of the Lord is going to catch a lot of people off guard like a thief in the night. It's not going to catch the true believers off guard because we've been watching. See, we've been doing what we're supposed to be doing, but the people of this world that haven't been watching, they haven't been having their eyes and ears to prophecy. It's going to catch them off guard because they're not aware. They're not up on what's happening. But them two older Edomite ladies that I was speaking to, they don't have the full understanding, of course. Like they don't have, they don't know what we know because they was also talking about, praying and, just hoping that, they're able to, in all words, escape what's coming, that Jesus is going to come and save them, which they don't understand that when Yahweh Shah comes back, they're Edomites. So when Yahweh Shah comes back, you going down. That's time for your judgment. So really, you really praying amiss, okay? If you're an Edomite, you should want this world to go on for as long as possible because this is your portion. This is what the Lord has allotted you to be as a blessing, right? So the fact that you praying for the Lord to come back, that's really you praying for your own destruction, which they don't understand that. The Lord got them in a trick bag. This is Amos 5:18. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? So yeah, them older Edomite women, they desire the day of the Lord. These casual Christians out here, they desire the day of the Lord. Because you know what? A lot of people out here too, they're tired of all the BS. They're tired of having to work multiple jobs to make ends meet. They're tired of just all the wickedness that's going on in the earth. They're tired of all the wars. They're tired of having to wake up every day and have to go to work and be mentally stressed and all of that, baby mama problem. Like people are just burned out. So they want Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua to come back, but not understanding what end it's going to be for them. Like I said, the Edomites, the Moabites, like the world is chaotic, but they want their God to come back and save them, which they don't understand. When Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua comes back, they going down. Yahweh Shah is coming back to destroy the heathen and put them under subjection and slavery to the Israelites. That's what's going to happen. Reading on, the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. So the day of the Lord is going to be a day of darkness. It's not going to be where Yahweh Shai going to come back and he's going to be handing out cookies and giving hugs and dabbing people up and Yahweh Shai going to give you your dream car. No, it ain't going to be none of that. It's going to be a day of darkness, vengeance, and judgment. That's what it's going to be time for. It's not going to be no time to say, I want to seek the Lord. Now I want to repent. Look at what happened back in the days of Noah. But Noah prophesied out there for 120 years and nobody listened. Noah finished building the ark. He went inside the ark with all the animals and, his family, and the Lord shut the door. So the Lord closed the door behind Noah. So that meant what? Their judgment was sealed. Whoever was outside of that ark, their judgment was sealed, man. There was no more, oh, now let's seek the Lord and let's stop our wickedness. No, you see, once the doors of the ark was closed, that meant that judgment was coming, man. But while you saw Noah out there preaching and prophesying, that was that was the grace period. So they had 120-year grace period and they didn't accept it. Well, likewise today, you got the prophets, the men of the Lord out here, all right, telling you of what's to come and what you should do to escape what's coming. But a lot of people, they just walk on by, or they ignore, or they think they know what's better. They think they have a better way in which they're gonna escape poverty, or they can get a bag, or they can just hustle hard enough, or believe in themselves. This is what these people believe in. But you know what? The Lord is going to give them over to that strong delusion because that's what they wholeheartedly believe in. Those of us that wholeheartedly believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, we know that that's our saving grace. That's, the Lord is our only option. There is no plan B. That's the only plan is to serve and seek Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai and pray that we are of that hopeful elect number that's going to be saved from the said evils that's going to come. Because make no mistake about it, these evils are coming on the earth. These evils are going to come whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not. Romans 3:3 says, for what if some did not believe? Shall that make the faith of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai to none effect? Which God forbid. You see, just because you don't believe in it or just because you can't see it, that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Just because you can't see a nuke just because you can't see a star from another far galaxy that's somewhere else in the universe, just because you can't see it with the naked eye with the telescope, that doesn't mean that it's not there. Understand? So in the same way, just because you don't believe or you can't see the judgment of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai coming, that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. Because a lot of people, they about to be snapped out of their reality. But the point is, everyone can see that the end is near. Everyone can see that something big is about to happen. Even worldly people, they're telling you that, listen, hard times are coming. They talking about cyber attacks. These people talking about blackouts, food shortages. Farmers are being put out of business. The government, they're continuing to pass unrighteous decrees that are detrimental to the livelihood and well-being of the people. And these things are only getting worse. The world is getting more wicked in general. Like I saw it was like four teenage boys, right? They was on a high speed chase with the police. All of them ended up crashing out and dying, but they was all from like ages 14 to 16. You know what I'm saying? Like little niggas had ankle monitors on, multiple warrants, and this ties into the lesson as well, because one of my clients, they was telling me like, they was talking about like the kids now, how they so crazy and bugged. It was like, yeah, where are the parents? Like what are the parents doing? And I said, well, you got to keep in mind that a lot of these parents, their children themselves, they're not mature. Okay, so if you're not an adult, you don't have any type of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to pass on to your seeds, how are they gonna perform and function on a righteous level in this society? It's not gonna happen. What's gonna happen is they gonna turn into monsters, man, and ultimately they gonna crash out like how them 4 teenagers did. You know what I'm saying? This is all of what you have now. And listen, this got to be the last generation, because if Gen Z, I'm not even sure if it's Gen Z, because if you like 12, if you like 12 to 16, that's like another generation. But whatever generation is after Gen Z, I don't know what it is, the terminology or whatever. But when if they was allowed to grow into adulthood, oh man, everyone's cooked. Everyone gonna be done, man. So this gotta be the last generation. This gotta be the end all be all. All right, with Gen Z, that's spiritual, because Z is the last letter of the alphabet. Okay, so that's the end of everything, man. So this how you know that Yahweh Shai is on his way back. That we are that generation that's gonna see the destruction of our enemies, man. That we are that generation that are gonna see salvation. Lord willing, we be of that elect number. And my client was also telling me, and Salakia, if I'm all over the place, but it's a lot going through my mind right now. But one of my clients was also telling me as well that, because like I said, she's an older Edomite woman, so she got a son that's 37 that lived in her basement, on that topic of, parents not being, able to pass on wisdom and guidance to their children and not being mature. Well, she said to me that, yeah, well, I got a third, my son is 37 and he lives in my basement, and, he really has no plan of getting out. Like, he's just comfortable. He just wants to be there. And in my mind, I'm like, damn, like, what kind of bum is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you a grown ass man, 37, living in your mother's basement, and you ain't got no plans of getting out. Like, it's crazy. But this is what you have. And also, you have war that's brewing. Okay, you have multiple wars that are ongoing and more wars to come. This is why they having serious talks right now about bringing back the military draft. Because all these wars that America got, they are pretty much shot. Like, they ain't going nowhere. They need bodies to throw out there on the front lines, and what they gonna do is they gonna grab you and throw you out there. Not the men of the Lord, but if some of us gotta go, or the Most High is gonna make a way for us either way. But just speaking hypothetically, when these men or quote unquote men, because a lot of these men ain't even men, they're very effeminate, very emotion driven. They're not men. They don't have no type of backbone. But they're gonna throw them niggas out there on the front lines. You see? And a lot of these men, they're not even equipped to be warriors. Because when you look at a soldier, a lot of soldiers, they were trained to be soldiers from their youth. Like, when you go to these other nations like Russia, China, they training young boys to be soldiers from early on, man. So by the time they get to that military age, they're already, like, their mindset is already there. So when you look at foreign troops, they have a whole different mentality than American soldiers, man. Because they were raised in that. Like, these American men, they're not fit in any type of way to be a soldier. They're not fit to go out there and fight. That's why the scriptures say that the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They remain in their holes. They are become as women. You can't just grab a grown man and throw him out there, 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks of training, and throw him out there on the front lines to think that he's going to be competent to perform the task. No, that's not how it works. But they need bodies. But that's a prime example of that woman's son being 37 years old, which he's military age. He's 37 years old and he lives in his mom's basement. So how do you think he's going to fare when he gets thrown out there on the front lines? He ain't going to stand a chance. You see? So everything plays in, man. Like, America's going down, Europe is going down. All these nations, they're all about to converge upon the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, so that Yahweh Bashmel Shah can destroy all their asses, man. This is the end of the end, and we rapidly coming towards that. You see? And once again, the Lord, he's coming back to execute vengeance. He's coming back to execute his fury upon the heathen. Contrary to what Christians may believe, that, they waiting on the rapture, or, they think that if they just believe upon JC that they good, they going to be saved. They're not going to have to go through nothing, which that's not biblical. That's not biblical, man. The only ones that really have salvation to look forward to are the hopefully elect. Outside of that, you really playing with your life if you ain't trying to get right. Let's just say it like that. If you ain't trying to get right with Yahweh Shem Shai, you playing with your life, man. Really, you know, the scriptures say that you pretty much a dead man walking. Roughly paraphrasing. That you're how is it worded? That you're dead while you live. Roughly paraphrasing, man. But look, everyone can see that this is the end of this world, because you see the wars that's going on. You see the wild weather, like out there this past weekend in the Midwest. You had all type of tornadoes going off, like destroying them Edomites' homes and shit, man. To the point where there's complete towns out there in the Midwest, Nebraska, Idaho, places like that, to where they, those whole neighborhoods have been wiped out by the Lord, and that's judgment. Now, just imagine how profound it is going to be when you see tornadoes happening all across America, even in places where you never thought that they would happen. You see, because the Midwest, they're kind of known to get tornadoes because of how the topography of the land is. But imagine when you start seeing tornadoes happen out in California. Imagine when you start seeing tornadoes happen regularly on the East Coast, earthquakes, 500-foot tall tsunamis. Like when you watch movies like The Day After Tomorrow, 2012, movies like that, it shows you what's going to happen in these last days. Like, it's really going to be like that. Some of it is embellished, for the sake of, the cinematography, but a lot of it is spot on because they get the inspiration to make these movies from the scriptures. So they already know. Hollywood knows what's going to happen. This is why the elites, because they fund Hollywood, this is why they're building bunkers, because they already know what's about to go on. But majority of these people out here, they lost in the sauce. They oblivious. You see? This is Ezekiel 25 and 17. It says, "And I will execute great vengeance upon them with furious rebukes, and they shall know that I am the Lord when I shall lay my vengeance upon them." So the Lord is about to establish, he is establishing his name back in the earth. Because for the longest time, and this is why the earth is so wicked, because they don't know the judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But just as the Lord delivered us out of ancient Egypt and he established his name in the earth among the heathen, he's going to do the same thing now. This is why you're seeing these plagues increase upon the land. You're seeing earthquakes all over the place. You're seeing volcanoes erupt. You're seeing tornadoes and hurricanes. Like, it's about to be hurricane season. So we got to wait and see what that's going to be like. But Lord willing, the Lord turns up hurricane season this year to where it's devastating. Because that's what we need to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is the judgment. This is the vengeance of Yahweh Shem Shai coming upon the land. And these people, man, when these things start to happen on a regular frequency, that's when they gonna know that a higher power is at work. Because it's not gonna be a meteorologist or an astrologist that can explain to you why you're having 500 earthquakes go off in one state within 3 hours. You can't explain that. That's not normal. And a lot of them know that it's not normal, but of course they're going to push that narrative out there to make it seem like they're all knowing, they're all powerful, like they can control the narrative. That's what they're going to do. But those of us that's in the know, we know that it's really the Lord at work, that the Lord is performing great signs and wonders within the earth. When you read Luke 21 and 25, it tells you about signs in the sun, the moon, the stars, and in the heavens, and distress upon the earth, the nations. It tells you about that. This is the time that we're in. This is a sign to let you know that vengeance is coming, Yahweh Shai is on his way, and that this world is on the way out. And everybody can feel it. Everybody can see it. Ephesians 5 and 13, "But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. For whosoever doth make manifest is light. Wherefore he said, Awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead." That's what we've been called to do. This is what we're doing for our people. We are calling our people out of that deep slumber that they've been put in, and we're calling them to come to the light. We're calling them to arise from the dead, right? And Yahweh Shai shall give thee light. We're bidding you to come to the marriage and accept the light of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because that's the only way out of what's coming. It doesn't matter if you have a bunker. It doesn't matter if you're a prepper with years worth of food, years worth of ammo. That's not going to save you. Now, if you want to go ahead and get food and you want to get a firearm, it's not wicked to do that. It actually be wise to stock up on some things while they're available. So it ain't nothing wrong with that, but at the end of the day, you got to understand, ain't none of that going to save you. None of that is going to be your saving grace, because Yahweh Shai, he's bringing the judgment to the earth. So you really think that you believe you're going to be able to buy food and buy ammo and that the Lord is going to let you escape if you ain't right? Man, hell no. The Lord going to get your ass, man. That's the point. The point is to repent, to sincerely come back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, that you be given that tawad, you know what I'm saying, that you be given that mark of exemption from the judgment that's coming upon the earth that the Lord is bringing. That's what we telling you. That's what Noah was telling you. That's what the prophets of old have been telling you. All right? Verse 15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. 16. Redeeming the time, because the days are evil. All right, verse 17, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And the will of the Lord is that Babylon, the great America, be brought to ruin, that NATO, the EU, be brought to ruin, that all these nations be brought to ruin, and that his hopefully like remnant be saved, and that the kingdom of heaven be set up upon the earth in righteousness. That's what the will of the Lord is. So if you are praying against that, or you don't want that, then you wicked. All right, because you should want what the Lord wants. You see, of course, it's not going to be a very nice time to live through. Yeah, we understand that. But this is why we're preparing ourselves to deal with it now. We understand persecution is coming. We understand there's going to come a time where things are not going to be comfortable. It's going to come a time you're not going to be able to walk out of your house and feel like you're safe. It's not, the time is coming where, food scarcity and violence, people just not giving a damn, that's going to be the all-time high. And when you're presented with those kind of scenarios, what kind of person are you going to be? Are you going to be strong in Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, or are you going to fold and give in to the solution that the devil is going to bring, his NWO? Which for us, that's not an option, because we understand that once he moved to do that, destruction is going to come right after. So taking this man's mark is not even an option. Then, we don't want what is outlined in Revelation the 14th chapter. We don't want to go through that, man. So the Lord willing, we stay in that spirit and we endure to the end. Whatever our end may be. But that's the will of the Lord, man. That destruction come, that deliverance be afforded to the faithful remnant. Verse 18, and be not drunk with wine wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit. Yeah, so you're not supposed to be drunk off the philosophies of this world or what's going on in this world. It's not wicked if you want to turn on basketball game, or if you want to go see a game or travel. You know what I'm saying? It's not wicked. It's a time and a place for everything, but be not drunk in excess. You know what I'm saying? So you're not supposed to be taking in the things of this world so much so to the point where it's taken away from your walk. You're not supposed to be taking in the things of this world so much so to the point where you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's what it means to be, to not be in excess drunk with wine. Yeah, because we're in the world, like we're amidst the wine, like we're amidst the folly. And yeah, like we do, partake in it a little bit, but we don't let it, shift our focus. We don't let it, divert our attention from what's really important, which is serving the Lord and, ultimately being the first fruits of salvation is going to inherit the kingdom. That's what we want, getting new bodies, finally being free from wickedness, getting, finally being able to, have an eternal kingdom, finally be at rest. These are the things that we're looking forward to. And this is why we are as diligent as we are, Because we understand that, yeah, we are gonna have to go through the fire, but going through the fire is well worth the reward coming out on the other side, right? Speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord. So yeah, we have put off the old man. We have come into knowing who our power is, knowing what our true identity is. You know what I'm saying? Putting off the ways of this world, and putting our trust and confidence in the Lord. This is why we're so confident and bold as we are to proclaim the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right? And we're singing that new song, which is, destruction to Babylon the Great, destruction to Esau, destruction to the wicked. And then we got next. We got next, man. So all the things that's happening in the earth that everybody can feel, everybody can see, everybody knows that we're in those times, man. We just got to keep tunnel vision and understand what the real prize is. Understand that the fashion of this world is passing away, that this world is done. This world is already done. It just seems like things are tearing on because things have to build up, but the precedent for everything has already been laid down by the Lord. Everything is already set up. It's just only a matter of time before the Lord finally pull the plug and this place collapse and all hell and chaos breaks loose. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end this lesson here. Hopefully this lesson was edifying and encouraging through the Rakah Kadash. Call Halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash. And until next time, Lord willing, Shalom to the elect.